I ended up at St Bees because my dad went to St Bees. So back in the 1950s, we live in Penrith in Cumbria, which is about an hour away from St Bees. And his parents, he was an only child, and he went to St Bees as a 12-year-old, I think, a 13-year-old. And he stayed there until he was 16 and then left to come back and work on the farm. And a lot of his friends are still his friends now. So when I was the second of four children, my older brother, he went, I think he must have gone in 1978, 79, and I arrived in 1980. So I went as 10-year-old and stayed there till I was 18 as a boarder. Although it was only an hour away, we boarded the whole time. And then my sister followed me, so she was 3 years younger. So at one point there was 3 Lancaster children in the school at the same time. I think my career's been shaped hugely by St Bees, and I think for a variety of reasons. I think going as a boarder, it was tough to start with. You know, you'd go as a 10-year-old, but within a week or two, you know, you'd adapted and you'd learned how to be independent, and you'd learned how to look after yourself. You'd learned how to organise yourself. You had no one to do it for you. Your parents weren't there. You know, you very much had to survive by adapting and by learning to do things on your own. Or you know, you get set homework, so you'd have to organise your schedule, your timetabling. You get into lessons on time. There's just no one else to do it for you. You have to do it yourself. And plus, then we had an unbelievable sporting pedigree at the school at the time. So, you know, rugby was obviously very strong, cricket was very strong, but a whole multitude of other sports that I played in the school. So whether it be fives, squash, tennis, golf, obviously. So all the sort of different sports I played definitely had a bearing on my career in sport. But I think the biggest thing in the end was when I went towards the sixth form. And I got more responsibility as either a school prefect. I ended up becoming head of school, and the headmaster at the time, I had a fantastic relationship with him, and he gave me a huge amount of responsibility to sort of run the prefects and run the way in which the school operated. It was very much run by the pupils, so you were given a huge amount of responsibility, and that improved my leadership skills, improved my ability to manage people, my own managerial skills, and at the same time, that particular year, we had a very, very strong rugby team, and we went on and won. We beat Seba, actually. We won Roslyn Park Sevens, and so for such a small school, we achieved an unbelievable amount of success. So that led me to a sports science degree at Leeds, and I did that for 3 years. And I guess on the back of what happened at St Bees, I was then really motivated to go into teaching. Because of the way I'd been taught and what lessons I'd learned from St Bees. So I taught for 8 years till I was 30 years old, which then gravitated to obviously into the RFU and into the England jobs. So St Bees has played a huge part in shaping me. And my friends who I made at St Bees are still my best friends now. During the 90s, you know, I was a jack of all trades, really, playing different sports. I played a lot of different sports at St Bees, as I mentioned. And it was only in the year 2000, when the opportunity to run the academy at Leeds came up, that I went from being a PE teacher, which taught many subjects, to specifically rugby. And then as I did more coaching and I got more fulfilment out of helping people develop and building teams in rugby, it sort of led me onto that path. So it was never a master plan to become a rugby coach. It just evolved, really. I came back, we all came back immediately after we'd finished, and we played in the sort of the old boys game against the current pupils, and then every sort of other year we came back, and gradually as things took over, you know, with the job and everything else, I came back less and less. But interestingly, I was more drawn back to it recently, you know. So since the England job, I came back, and I came back, you know, last 6 weeks ago, wasn't it? 8 weeks ago, to see how the school's getting on. And, you know, I know that the school gave me such a huge amount, and it gave me a massive amount of friendship, independence, confidence, and it's something I just want to try and help reinvigorate the school again and help it become alive again, because we all got so much out of it, and it'd be great to see the school back to where it was with us. You know, when we were there, I think we were 400 pupils who were in the school, and if the school can get back to that level, I'm absolutely confident that every parent and every kid that goes to the school will be a better person at the end of it. Lots of memories from the school, really, mainly to do with the friends, really, because you spend so much time together. You know, you're there day in, day out, you live together, you work together, you play sport together, and they usually, you know, revolve around the sporting experiences that we had as a group, and that's what ties and binds us together. We had good times on the Sundays and on the weekends when there was obviously downtime, and we had some great laughs together, and made some great friends. I've been in education, obviously. You know, I've been a teacher, and so I understand the value of education, I understand the value of exams and getting your grades, and, you know, going to university and all the things that come with it. I think it's the added value that St Bees offers that you can't replicate. And I've taught in other schools, and there's not a school I've come across that adds as much value as St Bees, in my opinion, because the lifestyle, where it's located, you know, the outdoor activities things that we did, you know, were second to none, really. You know, and you've got the beach, which is, you know, a walking distance away for a start. So all the sort of things that I was interested in, or became interested in, was shaped by St Bees, and it wasn't just the academic subjects that did it for me. It was the whole package, I think. And I think when you do speak to anyone who used to go to St Bees, or who's been to St Bees, they all say the same thing. I think there's not a person I've met who either was in my year or in subsequent years, my sister's year or my brother's year. They all say the same thing, you know, and they all gravitate back to the friendships they made at that school. A fantastic school. It's in a fantastic part of the country. It's got a great history, and the culture of the school is embedded in the village. And I don't think anyone would have any regrets if they sent their kids there. I certainly wouldn't.